Okay, chat. By the way, I want to address the thing with Coco. Okay, Coco. What was I gonna say? Coco and I had the craziest weekend ever, but at the same time, it was the worst time of our lives. Basically, it was me, E-Rob, and Coco, and this guy named Chad. Oh, you know anything for views. It was just hanging out this whole weekend. So, it's Thursday. I'm at my flight. It's like 7 o'clock at night. So, some people are like, yo, I'm just gonna go to bed. But I didn't want to go to bed at all because I've been deprived of alcohol for 30 days and having fun. So I said to myself, I'm gonna go out. So I wanted to go out. SFM wanted to stream, so I'm out. And I think Emmy also wanted to go out too. So there's a partner party that's going on that everybody's at, right? And by partner party, it's basically a bunch of affiliates that either walked in or like 30 viewer streamers that I don't want to talk to. So I'm like tempted to go to the partner party. Wake's there. He's like, I come over. But I got a call from my investor. The guy that does my stocks calls me and he goes, Miz, what are you doing right now? And I'm like, honestly, not too much. I'm just chilling. He's like, you know what? Check your portfolio today. And I checked. And I was like, 2%. I was like, damn, you're pretty fucking good at this, dude. Over 2%. He said, I want you to come to the steakhouse. I'm buying. So I'm a pretty spontaneous guy, chat. I said, all right, I'm going to head over. So instead of going to the partner party, I went over to my investor portfolio. These steaks were insane. They're like $300 a fucking pop. But I don't care because he's buying all the shit. So I start talking to him, and he starts telling me, he's like, hey, just out of curiosity, you don't have to do this for me. I'm a huge Stock Guy fan. He loves Stock Guy, which I was very surprised about. And he's like, I always wanted to meet him. And I'm like, dude, that's so easy. If SFN can get him on stream, I can get him here in 5 minutes. So I call up Stock Guy, and I'm like, hey, this guy wants to come meet you. Stock Guy's like screaming at me on the phone, be like, oh, all you fucking do is call me when you want shit. He's like an angry ex. Stock Guy comes over, and I'm hanging out with Stock Guy and my investor. They start having a good time. We're all talking and hanging out. Emmy was also there. She's kind of just sitting there wondering what the fuck we're all talking about because we're talking about leveraging and everything else. And Stock Guy then leaves for a little bit because he's like, oh, I gotta go. And he comes back and he's a little bit more drunk. And when Stock Guy came back drunk, he basically starts attacking my investor and telling him how everything he does is not right and that he should be doing different things. And he basically went all out and was just trolling him the entire time. So it was all good in the hood. Then we went to another party, and I hung out with Cypher PK. Stock Guy was still there. I met up with, like, Extra Emily and shit. Cypher showed me his YouTube channel, chat. He showed me his revenue. And I almost fucking fell to the floor. It was like seeing the holy grail of YouTube. He showed me his revenue on YouTube and how much Fortnite creators make. And I'm sitting there in awe. My jaw is dropping to the floor. And Cypher with his luscious long locks just goes like this. And he says to me, yeah, this is nothing. This is like a quarter of what I make. I make all my money on maps. And I just got really mad. I was like, damn, I should have never went on that fucking RV trip. Which sucked. I was pretty upset about it. I'm at like 6,000 fucking subs. This dude makes like $1 trillion a year. But we start drinking, we hang out. I start fucking around. I started realizing everyone at that party started getting drunk because they were offering me sponsorships. And I'm like, all right, it's time to get the fuck out of here. Who am I going to call? So, Chad, anything for views, starts hitting me up. Speaking of the RV trip. And he's like, Miss, let's go get fucked up. And I'm like, all right, Chad. It's been a while. I haven't seen you in years. Let's go. So, I meet up with Chad and Borby. We all hang out. Start having a good time like old time's sakes. Marie shows up. We start drinking. It's all a good time. And honestly, Chad, I'll be real with you. I don't remember the rest of the night because I got blackout drunk. The only thing I remember is I woke up in Chad's bed and there were multiple people looking at us. And I was blacked out drunk, and so was Chad. And that's all I remember. I don't remember anything else for the rest of the night. And I'm sure you guys don't either. I don't remember any of it. But me and Chad just looked at each other. We gave each other a kiss. I said, call me sometime. Let me know when you're off birth control. And I went back to bed. So, the next day happens. And this is when stories start to get better. The first night was kind of whatever, right? I go to TwitchCon. And I do my meet and greet. Right? And I'm kind of hungover. But I get there. Emmy's is right next to me. So we're doing it simultaneously. And I'm just like, ah, fuck. Like, I was wondering if people were going to show up or they were all just going to go into Emmy's line. But I actually had a full fucking line and more. I had so many goddamn people. I was there the longest. I was there for so long. It was fucking insane. You guys really pulled the fuck up. And what I realized in my line is I have, and I mean this in the worst way, I have a lot of autistic and ADHD viewers. Like, a ton. Like, I swear half the people in the line were like, yeah, I'm autistic. Or I have severe ADHD. And I fucking love that. Like, I was like, yeah, that's fucking awesome. I absolutely love that you guys have these things. Like, I understand why you're still watching me in 2024. And everyone was really nice and sweet. I got a few who's in the cars. Like, that was fucking funny. I'm like, hey, Cinna's line's over there if you're going to keep this up. So, it was pretty nice. I had a good time. Everyone was really sweet and fun. But there was this one viewer that made me tear up, right? And I felt so, I don't know how to describe it. Like, it's such a weird feeling to have. So, Julia just comes over, and I guess I had no content. So Julia starts coming over, and she starts streaming my entire line. I didn't ask her to do, but I don't really care. But this viewer came up to me, this girl, and I don't know if you can hear what she says. Let's see. You can't see what she says. But this woman comes up to me, and she says to me, hey, she was like, tired. I'm like, why are you tired? She's like, oh, I just ran a mile to get here. And I said, why'd you run? And she's like, you're the only streamer I came here for. I felt so, like, I couldn't believe that. Like, this woman came for me. You know, I usually get, like, a fat guy from the Philippines who's like, yo, I showed up here for you. By the way, where's Emerald? But instead, I got this nice woman who doesn't stream, surprisingly. You would think she did. Coming to me and saying, hey, like, I am here for you. Like, I love your content. And it meant a lot. I was like, why'd you come just for me? She's like, yeah, well, when I was in medical school, you were the person I put on every single night that got me through school. I would watch your streams every single day, all night, and I've loved your content, and you helped me through a lot of stuff. And I don't know what it was, but she just seemed so sweet and genuine that I gave her my TwitchCon badge. So I give her my badge, right? Because I'm like, okay, I want to show you that I care about you. I want to show that I appreciate you. And that's a big thing to do, right? Because it's basically the thing that makes me be able to walk around. So I teared up. I gave her a hug, gave her the badge, and the line's basically over, right? She was one of the last in line. So I'm feeling pretty good. And I walk upstairs to the partner lounge, and I sit down. I'm like, ugh. You did good, miss. You did good. You did a good thing. All of a sudden, I'm sitting there. 12 security guards walk right up to me. And Pluto. And more Twitch staff. And one lady that's in charge of everything. And I'm like, you know, I had a feeling something was about to happen. I looked at them. And they go, where's your badge? I'm like, I don't know. What? And she says, I need to know where your badge is. Right now. I say, look, I'm kind of like messing with her. I'm like, I don't know where my badge is. I guess you could just print me out a new one. Like, it's not a big deal, right? The lady sits down next to me with Pluto, and Pluto does his face. It's like, it's the despair face of Wake. He goes like this. Miz, you just caused a massive security breach. we are now having all security looking for your badge as you have all access past this entire place. If we cannot find your badge, by tomorrow we're going to have to shut down the entire TwitchCon to find your badge. We're going to have to search everyone's purses and bags for it because what you just did is the biggest security breach we can ask for. Basically, what I did is I almost fucked up everything because I'm an idiot. I gave away my pass, and this chick had full access to everything, including all backstage. So they were like, we have to now find your badge, search for it on our dime because you fucked up. So I did what I usually do whenever I'm in bad problems and situations. I went to my offline chat, and I'm like, can you please find this girl? And in like 4 minutes, I'm sure half of them already followed her. They found her. And I messaged her. I'm like, hey, can I just have my badge back? And she was like so nice. She was like, yeah, sure, I'll just give it to you right now. So I actually got my badge. It wasn't that bad. Pluto was happy with me. Everything was safe. But I actually almost did fuck up the entire TwitchCon because there was all this kind of security was around me, making me make sure that I got my badge back. Which I did not. It was, but I felt so bad for her. I was like, damn, I'm sorry I couldn't give you your badge. She said it wasn't a big deal. She even gave me like some candy and stuff that wrote on it. It was sweet. It was honestly not so bad. But what else happened on that day? Then I met up with Patty and Chris from Camp Canute. We're all sitting there. I was there with Will and Emmy, and I'm walking around TwitchCon, right? And we're hanging out, walking around, saying what's up, doing a lot of meet and greets, and we're about to leave. I know there's no kick streamer stuff at this point, but I'm outside, and I think I'm on Patty's stream, and this lady comes up to me, and she's like, hey, I'm a huge fan of yours. And I don't usually believe when women are fans of mine. I don't think it's true. But then she showed me her book, which basically was like the book of passage for entire Twitch streamers. She knew all the lore and lineage of everything. This woman had everything written out. She had all the names. She had all the things. Her name was Kim. And I think she has multiple sclerosis. I like said hi to her, and then she like stood up, and I'm like, oh, like, you don't have to, like, I didn't know what she had. And she's like, oh, no, it's fine. I don't really care. And I'm like, well, what are you doing tonight? And she's like, oh, well, I don't have any plans. I just came here by myself to meet guys like you. So I'm like, hey, Kim, why don't you come with us to go get some food? And she's like, abso-fucking-lutely. So Kim goes with us to get food. She was actually very funny. She's a huge fan of every single Twitch streamer. We go get food. I talk to her. Brian buys me a couple drinks and tries to fuck me. Wasn't really too interested. But it was very nice to be around her. She's a huge fan of all the streamers. I don't know if you guys saw it, but it was really, really sweet. I actually liked her so much. She was so nice. I hope she had a great time. And then we left, right? Because now it's like, all right, I hung out, I ate, I came, I saw. It's time for me to go and drink. Round fucking 2. So, E-Rob calls me. I'm like, all right, let's go. So, me, Borby, Coco, we hit up a party. We go, and we meet up with the legend himself, Jinxie. So I start talking to Jinxie. We're like, yo, remember when you got canceled? When you got canceled, we start like hitting it off. He's actually really fucking cool. I liked him a lot. But I say that for everybody. We went to a bar, and then we were at some party. I think it was pretty boring. I don't remember it. And then I'm like, yo, you want to come to a bar with me? And I didn't expect him to say yes. He's like, oh yeah, let's fucking go. So him and his whole crew, which is like 12 white dudes, we all go to a bar, and me and him just start taking shots. And these like 2 women come up to us, right? Yo, Patty. These 2 women come up to us, and I'm like thinking they're kind of hitting on me. So I'm like, all right, what's up? You know, you want my autograph or something? Yeah, they didn't have any idea who the fuck I was. They literally were only there for sketch, or fuck, oh shit, no woman's there for him. But they were there for Jinxie, and they're like, hey, like, we're just here for, like, who are you? Are you one of his friends? They thought I worked for his management. That's what they said. Are you his manager? Do I look like a fucking manager? I'm like cross-eyed at this point. I'm shit-faced. Like, do I look like fucking shit? So 2 women show up, and then all of a sudden, like 5 other women show up right next to Jinxie. And Jinxie's like flat out ignoring all of them as we're just pounding shots. These girls just keep lining up. It's literally becoming a line of women are just waiting for him. It's like an IRL version of Lover Host. Jinxie doesn't care. He's just taking shots. And the only one that Jinxie flirted with the entire night, besides me, was Asmon. So he tells me, he's like, dude, I'm a huge Asmon fan. I'm like, oh my God, I'm so tired of this shit. So he tells me, he's like, yo, let's take a picture for Asmon. He messages him. He's like, dude, I love you. I didn't, and that was basically the whole thing. He's like, yeah. Asmon said, finish Elden Ring, pussy, or something like that. But Jinxie's really cool. I like hanging out with him a lot. He told me he wants to go to Florida. He wants me to go to Florida to do content with him because he says he doesn't have a lot of people there. But I told him absolutely fucking not. I'm not leaving my house. You can go fuck yourself. Thanks for the offer. So, the bar closes. Now, me, Coco, and Chad and E-Rob wanted to go out more. I'm like, where do you guys want to go? It's like 2 in the morning, 3 in the morning. I'm kind of tired. Chad wants to keep going. I think Coco is like, let's fucking go. And so is E-Rob. So, we're like, where do we go? So I start asking people on the street. And actually, first of all, while we're on the street, I see some dudes getting into a fight, which I fucking love fist fights in the middle of the night. So everyone starts fighting and shit. I'm like directing traffic for no fucking reason. I'm just like telling people to go this way while there's a huge fight going on. E-Rob's going like this, watching the fight. Let's go! While he's just shit-faced drunk. Like, let's go! He obviously didn't get any fucking lessons from that. But we're all sitting there. We're like, where do we go? So I asked some guy. He's like, hey, there's nothing open right now. I'm telling you straight up, everything closes around here at like 3 o'clock. I'm like, damn. Then he goes, but there's a ghetto bar 15 minutes away. And I was like, kind of, I'm down for whatever. I don't care. E-Rob really wanted to go. E-Rob's like, let's go to the ghetto bar. So I'm like, all right, fuck it. So me, Chad, Coco, E-Rob, we take a fucking Uber to the ghetto bar. And I get there, chat. One of the best bars I have ever been to. There's no like fake shit. Everyone's just there to nut. Everyone's having a good time. There's girls twerking on guys. There's girls twerking on girls. Everybody's just fucking dancing like crazy or doing hookah. That's all it was. It was a ghetto. It was perfect. Perfect. Until I went to the bar. And I say, how much is a cranberry vodka, right? I'm trying to look good in front of the ladies. I say, how much is a cranberry vodka? $25. It was $25 a drink. So you want 4 drinks? 100 fucking bucks. And I thought they were just trying to scam me. I'm like, you know who we are. No. There was another dude that showed up, $25. I said, why? I asked someone, I said, why the fuck are the bar's prices so high? He said, because nothing's open. And they know it, and they know that we want to be out. They said it's an after-hour bar, so they know what they're doing. So they were just scamming people all night with cranberry vodkas, $25 a drink. I don't know how much money they made, but it was insane. So we get like 15, right? Now we're really fucked up. We're all like hammered. I'm fucking zooted out of my mind. So is Coco, Chad, E-Rob, right? E-Rob's a little bit too drunk out. He's kind of blacked out. So we're all hanging out. We're like, oh, fuck. I like, love you, bro. And E-Rob goes home, right? Because he's pretty drunk. E-Rob's like, I gotta go. Right? He had something to do. He went home. And this is where things get crazy. So, Chad calls an Uber, right? Calls an Uber Black. We get there. We get in the car. We're sitting there. And we're driving home. Nothing crazy. And while we're driving, the guy looks at Chad and goes, do I know you from somewhere? And Chad's like, yeah, you probably know me from some bullshit. So he recognized Chad, right? He must have not seen me in the back, but he recognized Chad. And they start talking, and the guy's like, Mexico is only 15 minutes from here, right? And we're like, what is that? What are you trying to say? He's like, I'll turn this car around right now and drive you to the border if you want to go. And I said, let's fucking do it. So me, Coco, and Chad drove all the way to the border. And it's like 6 in the morning at this point, Chad. It's 6 a.m. And we're like, fuck it. Drive us to the border. Let's fucking get through that shit. Let's see what it's fucking like. So we get to the border. And he just drops us right off. And there's like 12 amigos just sitting there, right? And we get there. We're like about to walk in. They said, no. Don't walk in. Let me drive you. It's better. And they start fighting over each other to the point where 2 of them were going to get into a fight. They were literally about to fight because they were like, I'm driving him. No, I'm driving him. But while they were fighting, we're like thinking about it, like, how can we use this? And Chad goes, whoever gives us the cheapest price, we'll go with him. They immediately turn to Chad. One says 50, one says 40, one says 30, one says 20. $20. Let's go. Guy drives us across the border. Easiest thing in my life, chat. They looked at us in the eyes, the people at the border, while we're driving through. They didn't say anything then. They didn't give a fuck. They don't care. You could do anything you want going into that country. You could bring hundreds of pounds of cocaine. It does not matter. You can go right through. It literally was like an easy pass. You just went right by. You know, it's like the thing at the highway where you go under it to like pay the $2. That's all it is to get into Mexico. And we're all fucked up. We're like, woo, this is fucking insane. We're walking through the border. We're all having the time of our lives. We're like, this is fucking sick. And we get into Mexico. We're walking around. We're like, dude, this is insane. We're in Mexico. Everyone else is at TwitchCon. We're sleeping. It's like 6:30 in the fucking morning. It's starting to get bright outside. And we walk around. It was honestly kind of sad to see because there's a lot of dogs there, chat, that are just walking around fully. Like, it's a shit ton of dogs. That's mainly what I got away from it. It was just a ton of dogs that are just on the streets they're just out there. And they completely ignore them, right? They do. They absolutely ignore the dog. No, they do. It's kind of sad. But we walk around. We got tacos. We chilled out. No, Coco's, it's 100% a real story. Look, this is a picture. This is the only picture I took because we were all fucking shit-faced. This is us at the border. This is the border. Okay? So, we're all having fucking fun. Okay? And it's like time for us to go back. We only wanted to stay there for about an hour. All right, let's go home. So, the border's right there. We get a nice car. I think Coco waved down a car. Guy drives us 5 minutes to the border. He says, I can't drive anywhere past here, obviously. This is where you got to go. Okay. So Coco, me, and Chad get out. We start walking to the border. Chad, we're walking with people with sacks on their back. Dudes with their luggage had tape around their luggage, and they're walking to the border. It was insane. And then there's just me, Coco, and Chad. We did not fit in. It was wild to be there. We're walking across. That's where I took this picture, right? And it was like I said, 8:30. It was like 7:30 in the morning at this point. So we're walking across, me, Coco, and Chad. And all of a sudden, there's these big gates. It's like Iron Forge, right? You walk right through, and now you're in America. And I was like, damn, it's that easy to get in? Me and Coco and Chad were just like, dude, that's it? This is how you get in America? It was a joke. No one stopped. We walked right through. I understand now why everyone's saying Trump needs to get these borders up. It was such a joke. I couldn't believe it. Until we walked another 300 feet. And there's now another room. And this room had full security, had full ops, guns blazing, people were right there, and there was a 2.5 hour line to just get to the front to begin the process to get back to America. And we are like, oh my fucking God. What did we get ourselves into? Because I had Name Your Price at 4 p.m. Central Time. So I was about to miss Austin's show because I was stuck at the fucking border. So, me, Chad, and Coco are like, dude, we gotta get through this line. How do we get through? Well, there's almost like there's almost like a flash pass on the side to get through the border. Okay? So, what you have to do is you essentially, it's for people that go through the border a lot for work. And we'll say, look, here's what we're going to do. We're going to go in that line, and we're just going to say, oh, we're stupid Americans, and we didn't know the difference, and then they're just going to let us through. So me and Coco try it, right? And Chad was very confident. Chad goes, don't worry about it. I'll get through. I'm a good talker. You guys have to get through. Worry about yourselves. So I go through. I walk up. I give him my ID. He says, what are you doing in this line? It's the wrong line. I said, oh, I'm sorry. I had no idea. Like, I never went across the border. And he looks at my ID. He seemed like he was kind of new, I'll be honest. Looks at my ID, looks at me. All right, lets me through. I'm like, thank fucking God I got through. Holy shit. And then Coco is like right behind me. Coco goes up. And this is true. You can ask Coco. Coco gets in. He gives him his ID. The guy looks at Coco. He called Coco the wrong name. He thought he was his cousin. So he goes, like, are you... I don't even know what the name was. And he literally thought he got the wrong name because this guy was new. And Coco goes, yes. Coco gets right in. I swear to God, this is... Coco can tell you this is true. He got the wrong name, and he let Coco go through. Chad looks up. Oi, cunt. How's it going? We're still drunk. Chad looks up. He starts, like, schmoozing the guy. How you doing? What's going on? You know, how's your day going? It's early, huh? Where's your passport? Yeah, he told Coco not to go back to Mexico. He goes, I don't have my passport. I mean, me and my mates just came over here from America. No. The guy calls somebody, and Chad's just sitting there. All of a sudden, Chad gets taken away. There's like four guys take Chad away, and we didn't see Chad again. Me and Coco lost Chad. So we walk out of the border control, and we are just sitting there. And every time we tried to look inside to see if Chad's there, as I'm fucking shit-faced still, I'm still pretty drunk. They won't let us in. Because they're like, hey, no, you can't. They're serious, they're Chad. They're like, you cannot even look in. Do not come in, do not look in, go away. So what do? There's a McDonald's across the street. So I go to the McDonald's, I order 3 Big Macs, because I'm stressed, and I sit down with Coco and we eat some Big Macs, right? We're in America, we have to. And we're just sitting there like, we gotta call Chad. We have to get Chad. I call him, doesn't answer. I call him again, doesn't answer. Chad's phone was dead. So Chad is an Australian man visiting TwitchCon, and his phone is dead as he's stuck at the border, and he's in a room, and we don't know where Chad is. And they won't tell us where Chad is. And I swear to God, it's out of a movie. A viewer comes up to me and goes, hey, I just saw what happened. Are you okay? I said, wait, are you Spanish? And he's like, yeah, I'm from Mexico. I could just walk right in and out. What do you need? I said, dude, can you do me a huge favor? Can you please go back to Mexico? End of story. I said, can you please do me a huge favor? Oh, he's Spanish. Fuck. Can you please go find Chad? I don't know where he is, but he's somewhere in customs. This kid's like, yeah, just take my number. So I got his number, and him and his friend, I swear to God, they went back to go find Chad. And me and Coco just sat there, and we're just waiting. 40 minutes goes by. It's like 8:30 in the morning at this point. I get a call from the kid. Hey, Chad's locked in a room, and they won't let him out. And there's nothing we can do. He needs his passport, or he can't go home. Yep. So, I said to Coco, I said, bro, let's go. Let's go back to the hotel. Let's try to find his passport. Let's try to find his hotel. We just got to go back to San Diego, and we have to find his passport to bring him home. or bring him to America. So me and Coco leave. We're on our way in an Uber. It's like 9 in the morning, 9:30, and we are hungover. We are so stressed. We are freaking the fuck out. We're like, we gotta go get his passport. We gotta bring Chad home. That's the only thing we cared about, right? Like, holy fuck. I get a call. It's from the guy. It's from the Spanish kid. I said, hey, what's up? He said, hey, just want to let you know, they released Chad. I said, what? They said, yeah, they charged his phone and they released Chad. Chad was free to go. Oh my God, what a fucking relief that was. What a fucking relief. Chad was free to go. Thank God I'm okay. And thank God Chad's okay. And Coco, because we were dead tired. We had to go get him. Everything was fine. Chad, me and Coco get out of the Uber right next to my hotel. We give each other a hug. I go to my hotel. It's 10 a.m. We go to bed. Boom. Sleep. I just passed out the second I hit the bed. I'm so tired. But it was honestly, chat, it was an insane night. It was an insane night. And you know what we're doing next year? We're bringing you guys. We are bringing you guys. We're going to go stream it. We already talked about it. We're doing it again. We're bringing E-Rob, and we're going to fucking Mexico for content. We're going to go right across the border. Yep. We already talked about it. We're doing it again. This time we're going to bring you guys. Let's do it. Fuck it. We're going to bring you guys. So, it was insane. I'm telling you, chat, I had like 80,000 viewers when I was at the border. Me and Coco were just sitting there. Dude, the channel points of will Chad live? It was insane. Call Coco for confirmation. Bro, he's in the chat. I swear this is real. This is not a fake story. San Diego is 15 minutes from the border. It's not that far. So, like, we really did do this. This is a straight up real story. It's true. It was true. But Chad got through. Everything was fine. I sit down. I'm about to fall asleep. And I'm like, damn. I got to wake up in 3 fucking hours to go to name your fucking price. So, Saturday, you call it. I mean, I call it 3 hours later. I'm hungover, tired as shit. I'm like walking into TwitchCon like this. People are like, dude, are you alright? I'm like, I had the craziest fucking night, bro. I am tired as shit. And I go, I clutched up for Austin, obviously. He's my boy, right? I'm with Austin. I'm in the backstage. We hang out. Me, Wubby, Nick, next UC. We start talking, chilling stuff. It's cool. And I'm backstage, talking to everybody. We do name your price. I couldn't hear anything because we had no mics, so it was so confusing. If you were wondering, by the way, chat, why in Name Your Price none of us were talking, it's because we couldn't hear shit. And none of the audience could hear anything because there was such an echo that was going on. We literally had no idea what they were saying. They would make a joke towards us, and we were like, huh? Like, what the fuck did you just say, you little shit? No idea. So we were so confused, if you were wondering why none of us were really talking. It was bad. And inside the audience, I know the audience was even saying it was bad, but watching Will and Austin, they're so fucking good at what they do. It didn't even matter. They just carried that show so hard because they're just so good at being like performers. They're insane. I watched them. I'm like, God damn, I suck, dude, compared to these guys. They were insane. Like, watching them do it, I'm like, God, you deserve all of your success. Like, Austin deserves to stream twice a month and make a ton of money. He's that good. They're insane. Will Neff deserves a talk show. Absolutely. Dude, Will Neff should take school at this point. He's fucking so good at what he does. I was blown away. And you know what's crazy is they couldn't hear either. So Will was kind of just doing that, like, on a whim. Just figuring out what the fuck to say. I was so impressed. So, I was watching, I was listening. I said like a joke about Asmon. Good one. I came home, took a nap because I was tired of carrying the entire show. Fall asleep at like 6 o'clock Saturday. I'm like about to pass out. My phone rings. It's E-Rob. Yo, let's go. All right. So I meet up with E-Rob and Coco again to see what we're doing. We go to some Stream Elements party, right? So I'm like on like an hour of sleep. I don't give a fuck anymore. I'm just drinking. I'm fucking not caring anymore. I'm just gonna keep drinking and stay awake. Coco's the same. Me and Coco are just looking at each other like, what the fuck are we doing? So we go to the Stream Elements party, right? And, dude, I walk into the Stream Elements party, and it's actually a DJ. Everyone's having fun. I just saw the clip. You're so full of shit. I know. So everyone's having fun. I'm exhausted at this point. And the first person I see is Russell. And he goes up to Wake talking about which girl he's going to bang. And I'm just like, dude, Russell, what offline chat of mine is in this party right now? You fucking delusional shithead. This guy's walking around like he's the pimp himself. I'm like, bro, who do you think you are at this point, Rusty? So Russell's walking around like on his like 3 different phones calling women. Well, me and Coco start slamming drinks in the back. And we get really fucked up because the alcohol's free, and also Russell wouldn't stop talking. And I kind of smell myself because I just got like 2 hours of sleep. And E-Rob told me I smelled like shit. When E-Rob's saying that, you know it's bad. So I go into the bathroom, right? Because I don't want to smell like shit. I'm like, yo, what's up? And the guy's there. He's got like the whole cologne out. He's got like the Axe body sprays. He's got everything. So I throw him a 10. I said, hook me up. This guy like basically like, you know, takes off my shirt. Well, I took off my shirt. He dabs me up, puts the cologne on me. He makes my hair look good. He's like, hey, I got you. You're good to go. Thanks, bro. So go back in the party. And DJ's good. They're playing dubstep. I'm like dancing like, woohoo, this is fun. And I saw Kaide. And I'm hanging out with Kaide. I'm like, fuck. We hung out the whole night. The whole night. The guy was sitting there. We were talking. We were having fun. We were shitting on each other. We were shitting on everybody else. 10 just like right next to us, just dancing like this, having the time of his life. It was really nice. Like she's probably, chat, like in my top 8 on MySpace. Like at this point on Twitch. I actually love hanging out with her. Like she's a really good friend. Like I was talking to her. 10 just dancing to Miley Cyrus. It was good. And then afterwards, the party's over. We met up with Julia and Danny. And I'm like, I want Subway. Because it's a 24-hour Subway that's open. And I go to Subway, and I call Kaide. I'm like, hey, what do you guys want to eat? And they tell me what they want to eat, right? Because this is what friends do. And she starts thanking me on the fucking phone. I'm like, stop doing that. Hang up that bitch. So I get them their food. I'm at Subway, fucking around. Julia... It's so funny talking to Kaide and then talking to Julia. I'm talking to Kaide. I'm like, hey, do you want something to eat? Thank you so much. Like, it's so sweet of you to do that for me and Tens. Like, you have no idea. We're so hungry. Julia walks up. Yeah, let me get like let me get 2 foot long. You're paying, right? 2 foot longs. Let me get the cookie. She got a cookie foot long as well. And she's like, hey, Danny, what do you want? Let me get another soda, a Sprite. Let me get 2 Cokes. Just completely different vibe. I'm like, what the fuck is this? Well, I obviously paid for everything because I'm a little bitch. So I paid for it all. We go back. I meet up with them, and Kaide's like, thank you so much. Stop. It's weird. Stop doing this shit. This is what friends do. Watch Hunter x Hunter, right? And then the next day, Kaide messages me, and she pays me $20 on Apple Pay for the food. Like the disgusting Canadian she is. I'm like, stop doing this, bro. Like, I don't like this stuff. I like people. I don't care. If people like Julia's, you know I don't care, chat. Like, that's $20. I don't give a fuck, all right? I don't care. Because I know if I was in a fight, like, let's say if some kick streamer came up to me, Julia would be doing the fight, all right? And I would just be sitting back eating the foot-long cookie. I don't care. You know I know. So, that's the end of the night. That's Saturday. I'm so exhausted at this point. I wake up Sunday. I'm fucking dead, chat. I'm so tired. I'm drunk, hungover, whatever. I don't even know what I am at this point. I just don't want to exist. And I get up, and I'm like, God, fuck, I have to go to 2 meetings today. And I go downstairs, right at my hotel. And I look to my right, and I see Will Neff. And I see Will. And I'm like, yo, What's up? He says, Miz, I have something I want you to do with me. And you know me, I'm down for anything with Will, right? Even if you wanted to go drink. He says, hey, I want you to come with me to a Padres game. Let's go to a fucking Padres game. It's right there, right? The stadium's right next to TwitchCon. He's like, I just want to go there for an hour or two, just be a complete human and have no worries about Twitch and just eat a fucking hot dog with the boys, and a tall one, right? He's like, I just want to drink, eat a hot dog, watch a fucking baseball game. And you know me, I'm all for that shit. So I'm like, all right, bro, let's fucking go. So I asked Emmy, I asked Wake, and we go to the Padres game, right? And we get decked out in a bunch of fucking gear. This shit was $300. I went to go get the hot dogs, the 1 foot long hot dogs with Emmy, and I'm like walking them up. I don't know how I did it, chat. Mine is $300 fucking dollars because I got ketchup all over this thing. I got so much ketchup. I got ketchup on the top brim of my hat somehow. And I'm just sitting there with ketchup all over me, but the fucking hot dogs were amazing. It was great. It was great. No one's really doing anything. Baseball is pretty fucking boring. So I'm like looking around, right? My ADHD. I'm just seeing if there's something to look at that's content. And I see this guy. And I'm looking at him, and he keeps leaning back when he's talking to his friend. And then he leans forward. But every time he leans back, he's on his phone. Like he doesn't want someone to see something. And then he moves forward. I'm like, what are you hiding, bro? What is going on that you're hiding? And I look over, and he's on Hinge. And he keeps doing this with his phone. So I gotta look at what he's doing. And all of a sudden I see, I can't wait to fuck the shit out of you and cheat on my wife. First message. The second message, I'm coming over the second after this game's over to fuck you. This guy. He's unhinged at the baseball game, and he's refreshing it nonstop, waiting for women to respond. And then, the last thing I saw him type was, he goes, this game was fucking trash. That's the last thing he said. This game's fucking trash. And then we just fucking left. So we left. This guy was just sitting there cheating on his wife. I didn't give a fuck. I get out of there because we have to go. I think Emmy had some kind of meeting or something like that. And I go to TwitchCon. And I'm walking around. Right? Walking around. Will, and Wake are walking around. Dude, Will gets stopped more than me. I'm not kidding you. Will was getting stopped more than me. By all women. It was all women. They didn't even look at me. They didn't care. They would glaze at Wake for a second and be like, I chihuahua. They wouldn't even look at me. And I was dripped the fuck out. They did not care. Will got every woman was looking at him. They were taking pictures like, oh my God, I love you. And I would ask them, I say, where do you know him from? The Fear and podcast. Austin's TikTok. Some random Coomer Discord of Hassan Piker. It was everywhere. They were all over the place. These women were in love with Will. So I'm like stopping every 3 seconds for fucking Will. And one guy takes a picture with me. And all of a sudden my offline chat shows up. Right? So my offline chat shows up. They start talking to me. I'm like, yeah, yo, whatever. And he goes, hey, you know something fucking wild? I'm like, what? Bruce is right there. I'm like, there's no fucking way Bruce is here. And he was. So, I go to Bruce, and I run up to him, and I see him, and he just smiles right at me. And he gives me that big white teeth smile that he's got. I don't think he had grills on. But he gave me a nice big smile. And he was happy to see me. He was. I mean, he's messaged me before. After everything, he messaged me. He was like, yeah, what's up? Blah, blah, blah. I can't believe he went. Truly, I cannot believe that Bruce just showed up. So I go to Bruce and say, yo. I start talking to him. I say, how you been? He's like, I've been through stuff, blah, blah, blah. I'm like, I'm like, look, I hope you're feeling better. I try not to hold grudges, as you know, chat, because truthfully, grudges are just it's stressful. It's a lot of work to have grudges. So I try not to. But I told Bruce, I was like, hope you're doing okay. And I told him he has to make a video for me. So he makes this video. When I told him, can you just tell people I'm not a bad guy? And he says this.
Yo, we at TwitchCon right now. He's still fucking blocked. He's still a bitch. But it's okay, you know?
That's not what you're going to say at all.
I wasn't supposed to say this. He's still blocked though. I haven't unblocked him.
He's talking more. And
So I say that, right? And Fearbook tweets it, right? Fearbook tweets it. Oh my god, it's gonna be impossible to unfind. And everyone starts praising Bruce. And I'm like, what the fuck is that for? Like, and they're like, dude, Dio on top. I'm glad he stood up to this cracker. What? I told him to say this. What do you mean he stood up to me? I told him to fucking do this. And he did unblock me. In fact, I was already unblocked. The last message he sent me was like, hey, I hope you know I care about you and I'm sorry for everything. He unblocked me. So I wasn't like I was blocked. I didn't give a shit. These people were like praising him, like, good job for standing up to the white man. You're gonna call me a man? Like, I did not do shit. So I'm like, what's up, Bruce? I say goodbye to him. I was gonna meet up with him, but I didn't. Something happened, I forget. I'm like, I gotta go. I have a meeting with Twitch. You know how it is. You probably have multiple. Go to Twitch, and he's like, Twitch. I'm like, yeah, the guy that was picking cotton, remember? The guy that was on the cotton field, that guy, I gotta meet with him. So I meet up with Twitch about the fights, and I was tired and hungover, so I went to sleep. You guys don't remember the picture? You don't remember the picture that Bruce tweeted? With Kai? With Dan Clancy? It was there. I could not bring it on stream. So I was walking around, and I swear to God, Chad, I'm going now to the partner lounge because I'm meeting up with people for MCC, okay? And I'm walking to the partner lounge, and I see it's like the anchovies from SpongeBob, 20 Iron Mouse fans huddled together. It's like they're sardines, and they want to make sure no other Iron Mouse fan gets hurt. All dripped out in the same Iron Mouse clothing, all completely like in walking synergy with each other. And they all had the same shirts, clothing, tattoos, hats, face. They were all, I swear, they were white kids from the Netherlands or something. And I could tell they were all from the EU, and they were all like this. They were doing the NMP. And they were just like, they just like freaking out. They're like, what the fuck do we do? Where is she? I heard Iron Mouse's line was the longest, by the way. I heard she had the longest line out of anyone, not even a question. Is from what I heard. Her line was insane. I think she has the most cult-like community on Twitch. I truly do think she does. It was wild to see the amount of people that had Iron Mouse clothing. I met with Shy Lily, other people. That was pretty cool. This is me meeting Bruce. This is Bruce flipping off a camera. I think my cameraman was white. That's probably why he flipped him off. That's me completely dripped out in the San Diego Padres stuff, which I looked like a complete Jersey douchebag. So, what else happened? I went to the Twitch meeting. I was hungover, but they were really interested in growing MCC, which is great. And they seem like they want to do more content in general, which is nice. So, talked to them for a little bit. Some fire alarm went off. And then I was like, all right, I'm going to go back to my hotel and I'm just going to fall asleep. So I fell asleep for like 3 or 4 hours. And, but before I left, right, this is Sunday. I was walking out of TwitchCon, okay? And while I'm walking out, a bunch of viewers start saying, can I take a picture with you? I haven't seen you for the entire event. I said, okay, sure. I'll take a picture with anybody. I don't care. So I'm taking pictures with some of my viewers, and a line starts to form. Okay? And one of the security guards comes up to me and says, hey, look, I know you're doing this, everything, this is fine, but you got to do it outside. We're closing. So I'm like, okay, everyone go outside. Just meet me out there, and let's do this. So, I tell everyone to go outside. I go in like this small little corner, and everyone starts lining up. Starts being like a 20, 30 person line. People are just moving in. I don't care, you know. I like signing stuff. I have no problems with signing stuff for Twitch chat for you guys, for my community. I don't mind. So, I told everyone they'd be in the line, and I'm signing stuff. I'm saying, what's up? And a streamer comes up to me and just straight up starts harassing me. Not only myself, they start harassing my community. They start harassing the people around me. He starts screaming his head off, trying to look cool. And I'm ignoring it. But I truly felt bad for not anyone but my community. Because I was like, God, I hate that they have to see this. Like, I hate that they're a part of this. And I was about to call off the line. I was about to say, guys, look, this is just, we can't do this. It's just not going to work. And as I'm about to do that, this is true, it was 2 loyal viewers of mine who are also NMP mods, I think they are, and Wake. And this kid starts screaming. He's like right here with the selfie stick, and I'm right there. He starts screaming in my fucking face, saying shit. And my line looks like they're kind of like worried and like they're about to leave. And I'm like, dude, this is such a bad ending. Wake is the best person on Twitch. Straight up, the best guy. I'm telling you, chat, Wake is that guy. He was there for every time, and he's just a silent... Wake just stands there like this, right in front of the dude, and just like is telling him, you're not ending this. You're not letting this happen. I'm not letting you do it. Wake's standing there as this guy is screaming in his face, pushing Wake. Wake could have and should have just knocked him out, but Wake knows not to do that. He knows. He's calm. He sits there. The guy's pushing him. Wake's just standing there. You're not doing this. Just following him. You're not doing it. And all of a sudden, a few of my viewers, they start to line up as well. And they start holding their bags up. And they're like, you're not doing this. And they just hold it up. They say, you're not ending this line. And the guy starts trying to go back and forth to get in my face. 3 or 4 more people start holding up their bags. They start holding up their Twitch stuff. And they start saying, nope, you're not doing this. You're not getting past this line. And the line didn't stop. He was screaming while there was like 7 or 8 people holding the line, and everyone got through. And everyone just took pictures. We hung out. I had fun. And the guy left. And these guys saved the line. And honestly, chat, it was insane to see the support. It was incredible. They literally were holding the wall. It was a giant wall of mizkif. I was so impressed. And they were like such nice people. One of them was an e-robber. He was like, I'm not letting this happen. He just straight up was holding his bag, getting spit on. The guy was pushing him, didn't care. Just told it, like, nope, you're not getting past this. And there's just one more person who's there, the girl with my badge. She was there last minute because I told her to show up. Here's your badge. She's like, thank you, blah, blah, blah. I had a really great time. Give her that badge, and then I go home. I go to the bar, and I'm hanging out with all these people. And I hang out with the Spanish community. And dude, they love us, by the way. I was being such a dumbass with these guys. They're like, dude, please come to Mexico. Come hang out with us. They want me to go to Mexico City and do stuff with them. I really like these guys. I actually fuck with the Spanish community. And I'm not saying that like, I like them. Like, I actually like them. Like, look how happy Quackity is, dude. He was ecstatic to be around us. And E-Rob's like there. He's getting drunk. Now, E-Rob's a dog, right? So E-Rob's a dog. And he always tells me that. And he's messaging some girls, right? She's just messaging women. And I'm like, all right, yeah, hit him up. Let's get some people here. Because the bar wasn't like full, right? It was a Sunday. And E-Rob's messaging some chick because I told him to bring some girls here. And she's like, I can't come out. I'm sick. I'm sorry. I can't go out. And I'm like, oh, wow, that sucks. And E-Rob messages her the cringiest, funniest thing. He goes, damn, I hope you get better. Prayer emoji. She never responded. So what I did is I'm laughing. I said, wait, you know what you need to do? I want you to message this exact girl and see if she come out. Wake messages her. She was there in 20 minutes. I'm not even kidding you. She was there in 20 minutes. Yeah. So, we obviously stopped talking to her, and Wake's obviously doing his thing talking to her, and we're just sitting there, like, in despair. And a guy comes up to me, and he's like, hey, what's up? I actually have an apartment upstairs, right? So he's like, I have an apartment upstairs, and I want to show you my apartment. And he apparently says he does this all the time, but he's like, I'm a big fan of yours. I've watched you for years. And he was kind of cute, so I said, fuck it, why not? Let's go upstairs. I mean, name your price. I'm down for it. So I asked Coco and E-Rob if they want to come, you know, just because I wanted them to come see it. And we walk in, and this guy's got a fucking nice apartment. This is a nice-ass San Diego apartment. Look at this shit. Yo, Kaide. Wake was popular with the girls at the club, unlike Mix. Yeah, I don't know who fucking Mix is. He's probably one of those Spanish streamers. Yo, Phil. Is that a Make-A-Wish behind you? Are the VTubers mean to you? It's okay. It's okay. You want, So I'm at this house, chat. It's fucking sick. I think, this is E-Rob with the guy's cat. It was a fucking terrible picture. I was drunk. The guy's cool. You know, he says he takes people there all the time. I had fun. And then I actually found out that he had a really nice apartment and he plays WoW with Grayson. He's like, yeah, I played WoW with Grayson. I'm a rank 1 player. And I went to SFan. I'm like, is this true? He's like, yeah, that's actually him. So this guy really played WoW with Grayson. But while we're going downstairs, he's like, hey, do you want to watch The Exorcist with me real quick? I said, nah, dude, I gotta go back to the party. So we all went out. We went downstairs. You know, we had fun. We talked. We drank. And then we all went home. Wasn't really anything. The last image of the night is this picture, which is SFan talking to all the women that E-Rob was trying to hit up. And me and E-Rob just sitting there watching it. Which, it's pretty normal for us, chat. I mean, there's SFan. There's Wake, obviously. Like, me and E-Rob, we're used to this. It's been 5 years, so I'm totally okay with it. We're okay with it. It was a fun time. I had a blast. Yeah, E-Money, you know, it was a good time. I had a blast. And that was basically the whole thing. Me and Espen went to Subway. While we're at Subway, E-Rob called me twice for something. I didn't answer. I didn't really care. And, I went home and I fell asleep. I woke up the next morning hungover. I like go like this with my eyes. I was like, is that Pokemon in the fucking hotel? I honestly said 2 words to her because I was so tired. And I went on my flight and I went home. That's the whole thing. That is my entire adventure of TwitchCon EU.